Cool. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Proud Dads Presents podcast. It's me, Mr. Proud Dad himself, James Savannah, and I've got a really awesome guest on the podcast today, Councilman Henry Davis Jr. What is going on, my friend?
What's up, man? Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Man, I'm real good. Your family living well? Family living well?
Yeah, man, everybody's awesome, man. We have no complaints. God has been good to us, man.
Amen to that. So I wanted to bring you on in light of everything that we got going on. Well,
Sure.
First and foremost, let's backtrack a little bit. You're a city councilman here in South Bend, Indiana, correct?
Yeah, have been since 2008. I got elected when I was 25. I got sworn in I was 26. And here I am at 40 years old, kind of sort of doing the same thing.
Man, so you've been on the grind for a long time. I remember when I first moved to South Bend, you had just gotten into office. You were getting settled in, and I was like, you was ready to make a difference.
Yeah, still am, man. I just slowed up a little bit since then.
Yes, sir.
I slowed down just a tad bit, man.
Right.
But it's all good.
Mm-hmm. So what got you into servanthood, into civil servanthood?
Well, environment, I think it was environment.
Yeah.
It was paying attention to the outcomes. People talk about these issues that we're up against, like it's some type of like candy store item.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose this, you can choose that, you can get this, you can get that. It's kind of like what you put in something, that's what you're going to get out. And look, I believe in reaping and sowing, but that's not, where I'm going with this. The environment can predict the outcomes for those who live in that actual environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they want to talk about violence and they say, well, why is there so much violence over there? Well, I will say, well, because the environment is violent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a grocery store. You can't go to the school over in that area. The library is not there or is on limited hours. I mean, the quality of life is probably like terrible. So, I mean, what do you think you're going to get out of that?
Right.
And you have kids growing up in that type of environment. So, I mean, the environment itself, the atmosphere in that area is violent. And that's just what it is. You're going to get violence out of it. I was today, case in point, I went out. And I drive around that district, when I get a chance to, like all the time, actually. And so I ended up on a corner of, what was that? I can't remember the street name. It was Huey and something.
Yeah.
It could have been Huey and Kenwood or Huey and Bertrand, I'm not sure. But anyhow, there's some kids out there, selling snow cones. So I purchased one from them for my son because he was with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, upon just talking to him and introducing myself to him and telling them what I do and, just different things and even asking and creating a conversation with them, they were very clear about who they were in their environment. And one of the children or kids, middle school, 8th grade, she's going to the 8th grade. She said, hey, they're always shooting around here. She said they shoot all the time, but I didn't get used to it. She said, I didn't get used to it. And, right. So
wow.
You get used to that type of atmosphere. So if she doesn't live over there by herself, she's there with her family. But there are other families that live over there.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's hearing it, the people next door is hearing it. The people down the street is hearing it. So they're experiencing that type of violence on their basis. So what do you think get out of that area? Think about it. So that was some of my daily fun today. Listen to a child tell me they are used to gunshots.
And it's wild that at such a young age that they begin to process and be okay. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing, being okay with the environment. Yeah, exactly.
That's nuts. That's what I said. The atmosphere is violent. Don't call the kids over there violent. It's the atmosphere. They have learned to exist in the atmosphere that you say is unfavorable, but they found favor in that violent atmosphere. So you can't measure them with the same ruler you would measure the kids that are out there by Penn Harris Madison or in outlying areas where there is more money
Right.
and yeah, right. You can't measure the two. Not the same.
Exactly. There's a different set of rules that come with each neighborhood. The
Yeah,
rules are
you got that right.
vastly different.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue into the discussion that I wanted to have with you, because I know you're so passionate about the people, you're so passionate about the neighborhoods, and with everything going on, everybody is they're ready to do something. And when
Sure.
they get ready to do something, they don't always know what to do. So
Mhm.
I wanted to take some opportunity to pull somebody on that's been in the grind and on the grind and been in it to kind of help us organize and start pointing some directions and do some tangible things that we can do as community members, that we can make it actual change in our communities, um, and just not give in to everything that we're seeing on television, on the mainstream medias. um, so I wanted to first ask, what kind of things can we do to organize ourselves, to come together and push stuff?
You have to have a desire before you even begin that discussion. You have to have a need and a want to do that.
Hmm.
So when people talk about organizing and getting people together and placing them in, some sort of room, and they're going to come up with some type of agenda to, conquer this task, people internally will have to have some type of like desire or a desire to even begin, because this work is never ending.
Hmm.
It's very difficult. It changes like the wind changes.
Right.
And the truth about it is that you don't get to see the actual fruits of your labor until years out. It doesn't
Mm.
happen immediately. So you have to, feel like that you're invested into the process so that you can get that. But whenever you get that, you know that it's not going to be anything immediate. So you're looking for, constant change. You're looking for a foundational change.
Hmm.
So if we are able to define, people who have the desire, the next thing that it makes a lot more sense is getting around people who have been part of whatever change that you're trying to create or work on, to get some idea of where you can position yourself.
Hmm.
Everybody doesn't need to be an elected official.
Right.
Yeah, right. So you have different roles, right?
Okay.
You have so what's great for me is that now that I have been in for so long, I have a group of people that I can rely on to make noise for me so that I
Right.
can respond to the noise. Or they can say things that I wouldn't dare say on camera,
Right.
So we have built a team, a system that allows me to be the councilman and they be the citizens,
Hmm.
concerned citizens. We come together monthly to talk about different issues. I tell them what I need out of them. They tell me what. But you have to have that desire to find that common theme, and then thereafter you start working in your different lane assignments.
Hmm.
No one a lane assignment is bigger or less than the other
Right.
because you're working as a team to get to point from point A to point B. So there's no big I's or no small U's. It's
Right.
us,
It's
right?
almost like a relay team on the track.
Right, right. And it sounds really cliche-ish. It sounds really like, third grade-ish type discussion. But those things are still consistent at the age of 40 as they were, when I was 10.
Hmm.
So people have to like throw away whoever they think they may be. And if they are something, you still gotta throw that out because
Right.
now you're a part of a working organism to go and get something. And it may be a lot of pain leading up to the prize, but know
Hmm.
that you're working with a team to get to the prize. And
Yeah.
once the prize is achieved, we all got it, and no one can take it away from us.
Right. Exactly. I love that. And what do you say to the people that think that it doesn't work? when you put it all together and you got your team going, what do you say to those that the system just doesn't work?
I just challenge them on that. Try it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
Yeah.
I mean, your experience may be, way different than mine, but I challenge you to try it. I challenge you to participate in it. And I'm not saying just for the weekend.
Yeah.
And
Right.
just not for the
Actually
weekend.
commit to it.
You have to commit to it because it's a daily function. It's every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And once you catch on to that momentum and that wave, it comes second nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
now you don't even think about it. I was talking to my wife yesterday. We were driving down one of the streets, and I was just talking about how the grass wasn't cut in a lot of these different lots that are empty. And I was like, well, I got to catch it with code enforcement in the park department. And there's some trees that are down over, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So she was looking like, and I said, you don't see that. And most people don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You will feel it, right? Because you like, it's kind of bad over here. You feel it, but you don't see it.
Right.
And so I'm pointing it out, and I said, well, see, that's my nature at this point. I catch that like really, really quick.
Yeah.
So, it becomes a part of you if you keep at it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's your environment. It's your environment. This is what you're sowing a seed into. And you want to reap the really, really good harvest. So it makes good sense for you to constantly till the land, water the seed, make sure there's enough sunlight over there, and keep repeating the process so you have a harvest.
Man, that's a good analogy because not many people understand what goes into the harvest. They think you just plant the seed and walk away. Exactly. Work does go into it. Man, if you actually watch them farmers, they be out there day in and day out from dawn to dusk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my work has proven to be work. You see how that you didn't see. Hey, that wasn't nowhere around. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about 2008, 2009, it wasn't like that.
It was jet black.
Man, it was jet black, man. Now I'm walking through here, man, thinking about being Santa Claus this Christmas.
Man, we don't want that though. We don't want you to go all gray.
I ain't going for that, man. I just stay in the house.
Yes, sir. Man, but that's really good. It takes work, and it takes a team of people to put in that work.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a one-man show.
Yeah. So what can people realistically expect? Like, I follow a lot of groups on Facebook and Twitter and things like that, and I have my ears in the streets, and people are always like, we need to get the mayor to push this legislation. We need to get the board to do this and that. What are like realistic expectations that someone
expectations?
Yeah.
You talking the wrong cat about realistic expectations. Hey, man, because I'm going to push it to the limit, right? My level expectation is what I can get out of this at this time at the most. Yeah. And if I get what I'm looking for, I'm getting more, I'm asking more, I'm demanding more. So, look, I would never put a cap on what you're allowed to get. I would never put some type of like whatever that is in a box. That's not Henry.
Yeah.
I believe, look, and this is Henry. Mm-hmm. I believe that God gave me dominion over the earth. I believe that He's given me leadership and control where I'm at in my space. Mm-hmm. And within that space and the time that He has given me to work, I got a sunset, I got a sunrise and a sunset, just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. I have the ability to create whatever I so desire to create. That's what I believe. That's how I walk. That's how I talk. That's how I go about my business.
Yeah.
Well, Henry, it didn't work out for you the first time.
Right.
And it may not happen the first 2 or 3 or 4 different times. Mm-hmm. But I have control over this. I believe that, and I'm going about it the way that I know how so I can get what I'm looking for. So there's no cap to it is what I'm saying. There's nothing. I have fullness. I've been given that.
Yeah. So say we have somebody that's like really on fire. What do they come to you for as opposed to somebody else?
What do you mean? Coming to me for what? Like,
yeah. So what is the role of city council. Like if I'm in your district and I have a problem, do I go to you? Do I go
Yeah,
to
absolutely. You come to
Mhm.
me if you're in the 1st or the 4th district.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, man. I serve the city, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all have our individual districts. We were elected district, wide. But if a person has a problem that's in the 6th district, I tell them what's going on, and I'll hook them up with their, council representative.
Mhm.
That's how I play the game because they asked me. I'm
Mhm.
getting paid, to do this, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So a person that's on fire and they want to come talk to me, hey man, set me on fire some more. Let's
Yeah.
burn it up. Because I need the energy.
Yeah.
Things can't become mundane on my end, or I can lose the energy and just don't want to do it anymore.
Mhm.
But and that's with any job. You can get into a situation where you're kind of like, I don't want to do this today. But yeah, definitely, man. So if it's in my district, they want something. You call me, you email me, whatever that is to communicate with me, and you
Yeah.
talk it out. We talk it through. It could be something as simple as a pothole in front of your house, or the neighbor's trash can, or whatever that is.
Mhm.
Something that deals with city services, and I'm on it.
Yeah.
And if it's something that I can share with you on how to get it done, I'm going to do that because I need you to be able to do it for yourself.
Mhm.
Not that I don't want to do it for you, but you need to know the knowledge and the wealth. You need to share this knowledge and this wealth. So probably about 2 weeks ago, this young lady gave me a call because the lights were out where she lives.
Okay.
She lives in Washington Dunbar. I think it's Washington Dunbar Apartments on the corner of Washington and Walnut. And so, like the alley lights in that area are out, and that's like some type of like high crime perceived area. Um, so it's probably good that the lights are on or stay on. And it was a simple fix. I need you to tell me what the numbers are on the pole. There should be a plate on the pole,
Mhm.
and it'll be a letter, and then some numbers follow, or sometimes it's just all numbers. Give me a picture of that, or just send it to me, the information I've asked for, and then I'm told I'm going to call it AEP,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to call them initially. We have a contact in the mayor's office. I'm walking her through this. That contact has a relationship. We'll get it done.
Mhm.
She's okay. Send me the stuff. Done deal. It took about close to a week, but it was a done deal. So, those things happen, and those things are supposed to happen. People need to know that they deserve more and also deserve better. So, like the young girl that I was talking to earlier today about the gunshots,
Mhm.
you deserve better. You
Right.
demand better. You don't have to move here to go live somewhere better, to
Right.
live better. You can live good here. Man,
Right.
and that's the most insane thing. People leave areas because they feel like that they have to go somewhere else to live better. No,
Mhm.
you can live better right here. Again,
Yeah.
that goes back to what I believe about my environment and how I operate in my environment. I
Right.
can't allow somebody else to tell me in my environment, this is all you deserve.
Right.
You have to be insane to say something like that to me,
Right.
because I'm now going to go show you that I can. I want to make you mad.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I believe more in this than just, okay, we got it done. I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. No,
Mhm.
this is a constant thing. This is
Right.
constant.
Taking pride in it. So
Yeah, yeah.
you were born and raised here, right?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Were you are you a LaSalle Lion?
You better believe it, 1997, baby.
Man, I tell you, these LaSalle Lions have like the most city pride I have ever seen in my every person I've come across that's a
The
LaSalle
Lion
Lion.
Pride. The Lion Pride, man. We came with it, man. I drum line. I was on the drum line, played ball
Okay.
there. Man, whatever. That Scarlet and Black is still, I believe Scarlet and Black to this day, man. You
Yeah,
won't get
man.
me with nothing else on.
So y'all was the best high school in the city.
Well, it just depends on who you're talking to. Yeah,
Mm.
to us, we were. Absolutely. You get
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
other haters and they'll talk about, man, LaSalle, man, y'all wasn't nothing. But everybody wanted to be a Lion. Everybody wanted to come over to our pep rally. They wanted to come hang out at their games. I don't
Mhm.
care if we was playing football against Penn. They wanted to be at LaSalle game. because we always kept it cracking.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did you always want to be in politics or
No,
a servant? What did you
no.
want to do?
I wanted to be an architect.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be an
Nice.
architect.
Yeah.
I aborted that mission sometime in undergrad. I think it was maybe my third or fourth year in undergrad. I just got into, the struggle. It was internal with myself about going to grad school and spending that amount of time and money, and then coming out making, I think it was like $40,000 starting off. Then you're working 12-hour days. I mean, the life of an architect, starting out is really, really rough,
Yeah.
So I wasn't interested in that at that point, I wanted to be an architect probably since I was like in third or fourth grade.
Yeah.
I just thought it was real cool to design buildings.
Right.
So
I think we all built that popsicle bridge when we was in whatever
yeah.
class that was in school.
Yeah, I thought that was dope, man. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then even looking at cities and how things are put together so I can talk about that. So I left that idea, and I ended up coming back home during the summertime working with kids. So I was just like, oh, yo, this might be it. Kind of like not wanting to be a teacher, but maybe I can like run a community center.
Yeah.
Kind of that impact. So there was a graduation of thought. So I started with the art. I got a degree in art, actually. I'm a drawer by trade.
Mhm.
And so I left there, and then I went to, the the community center idea, and it just kept building. And then I ended up in this position where I was just like, I don't know, this don't look right to me.
Yeah.
So this one day, I tell you, this is one day, this lady, this guy asked me, because I was working at a community center. I was running an after school tutoring program.
Mhm.
And there was this rally. I can't remember what the rally was centered around, but it was political. And they asked me to speak. They meaning some of the participants in the tutoring program, but this had nothing to do with the tutoring program. It was just a rally for the community. And they said, well, you'll be a good candidate to speak. You're from here. You're young. You're articulate. The same, everything they say about Black people that's educated. You're articulate.
Right. There's always those few choice words that always come out.
Buzzwords, man.
Exactly.
And so I took the bait. I bid. I went. And after I got off the stage, I didn't stay up there for very long because I was, I had stage fright. I didn't know what I was doing. Got off, and this lady, her name is Barbara Fredman. Never forget it. She rolled up on me. I was on my way to my car. I'm getting out of there. And she says, stop. I said, stop? What do you mean, stop? Who are you? And she introduced herself. Nice looking lady, very soft spirit, but she was aggressive. She was like, you can do this. I said, do what?
What is this?
What is this? You got to define this. And so she was just like, no, you can do this politics thing. I said, for who? And yeah, now seriously, you're catching me off guard. So we went through the back and forth. We exchanged numbers. And she was just like very adamant. You can do this. And we went from one, she stayed with me for a while, in my ear and just walked me through, the idea of doing it. And then one day it took off. She got me to sign up for a seat. I think it was Sean Coleman. He was on the city council. He had gotten another position. So there was a special election. She got me to sign up for it. I interviewed for it. And this is where the other part comes in at. Because I'm an athlete. I was an athlete all the way through college, right? I had 4 years of varsity college basketball. So I have a problem with losing.
You're right.
Yeah.
I haven't met an athlete that doesn't.
Yeah. I you know what? I hate losing more than I like winning. You understand? So I'm that type of person. So this is what happened. I didn't know the real process of actually signing up for the seat. I understood the preliminary things, but I just, kind of weak on the other end with the actual process.
Mhm.
So I thought I had signed up, thought I had participated enough to, be a part of the election that was coming up. Uh, the the filing deadline, I think it was that Sunday maybe, or that next Monday, but it was I'm kind of hazing on the details, but it had already passed, or it was getting
Oh
ready to
man.
pass. It
Yeah.
was getting ready to pass. And I get a phone call from the chairman of the Democratic Party, and his name is Bush Morgan. I'm gonna tell you
Mhm.
this. And Bush said, "Hey, Henry." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I see that you were going to run for this seat." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm the party chairman, and it's my ability to and my responsibility to call you and let you know what's going on." I said, "Okay, I appreciate it." He said, "Well, Henry, I don't see your paperwork." I said, "What paperwork?" He said, "The paperwork that you're supposed to fill out for the seat." I said, "What
Oh
do you
man.
mean?" He said, "You're supposed to file. Did you file paperwork?" I said, "No, I thought this is me
Mhm.
naive, being green. I thought that you guys, after the interview, because I was interviewed by members of the city council, that you guys were going to send me the paperwork that you're talking about."
Mhm.
Now, fast forward some years down the line, it's nothing like that. So he says, "Well, you know what, Henry? I don't have it." I said, "Well, could you get it for me? You have the keys, I'm sure." "Henry, we don't do it like that. Better luck next time."
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was
Dang.
it.
Just
And
better
so
luck next
that
time.
was his
Dang.
fault. Hey, that was his fault.
Man.
Better luck next time, buddy. You know that word, buddy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
We know what that
yeah,
means.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's what's happening. Okay. Yeah, you said it to the wrong person.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So once you got into office, what did it look like? Like, what is, say
No,
somebody is like, man, I want to go for to be an elected official to actually do something. What does like the day in the life look like? How tough is it?
well, it was really tough for me because I had no floor,
Hmm.
right? So some people are second generation, third generation. They walk in with money. Their parents
Hmm.
have money, or it's spread about. They're connected to this union or that union. They're connected to these businesses. So fundraising is not an issue. They're connected to voters already. So getting votes is not an issue. They are a party person or participant. So none of the things that you have to grab, to put inside your bag, uh, it's not hard for them. As a matter of fact, they show up with a ready-made bag.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So my time of getting made through this process was extremely difficult. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a floor. I didn't have a constituency base. You understand what I'm saying? I had relationships. People knew my last name. They knew me from different things throughout the community and my parents. That type of deal.
Hmm.
But I didn't show up with any of that, and so that made it extremely hard for me to even like participate in a campaign.
Hmm.
Um, through God's grace, yeah. So Fish Fry was awesomely successful,
Okay.
and I was getting checks from different people that just thought it was a great idea that a young man at the age of 25, or that's a 25,
Hmm.
was actually accepting or taking on a role to do something for his community.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds real powdery, like somebody could take some powder and just put it on my behind and say, "Yeah, you smell good." But it sounds real, nice,
Yeah.
because we're expecting you to lose, but we really like the way you're fighting.
Hmm.
And so, throughout the process, things happen, in my favor, and I was blessed with the opportunity to serve. But as far as a person that wants to get into this, if if you're not interested, again, like I talked about desire earlier, if you're not interested in really digging in,
Hmm.
um, it's going to be hard for you. Now, if you're interested in selling out, as people would coin it, Oh man, they got seats for you everywhere. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm serious. But guess what? You're not your own person. You're no
Yep.
good to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So
You become a
only way you
figurehead.
can move. Only way you can move is the way they tell you to move. The only time
Yeah.
you can do something or say something out loud is because somebody told you could.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've lost jobs. I've lost all kinds of things because of my votes and my stances on certain issues.
Yeah.
Hell, I was even pulled over at gunpoint by the police department after I voted against their budget. So, I mean, go figure, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all this to toot my own horn and just scare anyone. These are realities.
Right.
These things happen, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so it just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want, be somebody else's boy or pawn or puppet, they have a lot of seats that are open for people like you.
Yeah.
And look, and no judgment.
Right.
Seriously, no judgment. If you want to get in and shake the trees and turn the boat over, then you can do that too. But
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be difficult getting there.
Yeah.
And so the terrain is rough. Make sure you got a pretty thick and large canteen on you, and put some marching boots on and get it done.
Yeah. That is one thing that I've like respected about you, is that you're not afraid to say what needs to be said, even if it goes against every grain that everybody else is doing. You will say it and do it.
Well, that's what keeps me there, and that's how you get elected 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm doing 25, so I spent 4 years out. You already know that, and those 4 years was because I ran for mayor and I lost, and
Mm-hmm.
so you had to sit out because I had my seat up, and so I came back without a problem.
Yeah.
I was so,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate the opportunity. I'm just as grateful as I was then as I am now, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to get reelected. People still saw something that they believed in, and they said, "Hey, come on back, let's get it done,"
Yeah.
and that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but I think I know that they know that they can trust me.
Mm-hmm.
They know that I'm gonna make some moves. They know he's gonna talk for me. He's gonna speak up for me. They know those things.
Mm-hmm.
They know that he's unbought and
Yeah.
unbought. So they know what they're getting. So it's not hard for them to say, "Hey, yeah, I want
Yeah.
that." Yeah.
So what do people need to look for in the leadership that they're electing to represent them?
A person that's interested in listening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Definitely.
probably the first one. I don't need to know your vision is for the
Right.
area. That's another conversation for another day. Um, if you're able to do this, that means you can serve people. That
Mm-hmm.
means you can help people. But if you can't do this, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem with a lot of leaders out there, is that they're on their own agendas. They don't
Yeah.
listen to anything that the people are saying. They
Oh,
might listen to the people that are paying them, but they don't
absolutely.
listen to the people that they're actually supposed to represent.
The people that's
Um,
paying them,
mm-hmm,
because that's the
mm-hmm.
taxpayers' money,
Yeah.
continues to rotate, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how are you finding time to balance everything, like representing family life, being a father and a husband? How do you balance it all?
I didn't. I learned the hard way. I
Mhm.
really I did. I got one heck of a story about that. That probably take me about 2 hours to go through it.
Yeah.
But because it grabs you, you
Hmm.
know, and if you're not, again, that's what I said. I had no floor, so I had no mentors. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I had nobody to say, look out for this, look out for that. It was just all trial and error.
Hmm.
And and I fell on my face a few times, because you don't know. You're running after these things, man. I used to stay out of the house. I used to leave the house. I had to be at work, I think about 8 o'clock, and I wouldn't come home about 8 or 9 o'clock.
That's a
That's
full day.
Yeah, that was like every day though.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was every day, and then the weekends, so it was rough. I'm thinking that I have to keep this pace
Hmm.
in order to, be that person. And that was as false as a day is 24 hours long. Didn't
Yeah.
have to keep the pace, but I didn't know that. So it took a while for me to figure out that, I didn't have to keep with that pace. I didn't need to serve on all of these boards. I didn't need to go to all of these meetings. I didn't need to, you understand what I'm saying? I can pick and choose
Yeah.
how I'm going to go about this. And so, like I said, I learned the hard way. You get a wife and a child at the house, and you ain't getting home to 9 o'clock at night. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're exhausted. You're no
Mm-hmm.
good to anyone. So, and I thought I had to do that, and I thought that she would understand that. No, that didn't go down too well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I could understand that.
It didn't go down too well, but even with that, I'm fighting back. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
It's for
This,
the people.
yeah. That stuff. Again, you didn't know. I didn't know. I learned it. I got it. My grandmother used to say, "When you buy you some sense, you got them." Bad sense. So I balance it now because I understand what the importance is on this side. I understand that this is not necessary, and that's experience too. That this is not as important. I can catch up on this later on. So you kind of feel your way through it, and you figure out, a priority list. Because people will lay anything at your feet. They'll tell you, you got to do this, you got to do that, or people even in a district will make you even feel like that, it's your job to make sure their water bill is paid this week.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then I felt like that I had to pay the water bill, or do something to make sure that you kept water. So, there's a maturity thing that goes along with it as well. But I know a schedule now.
Yeah.
I know that, and I'm still kind of bad with this. Me and my phone, we're almost inseparable, right? Because I'm always reading something, I'm always emailing something, there's a constant communication with me. I still haven't figured that one out, but I'm at home a lot more.
Amen.
I'm more accessible to my family. I'm doing more activities. My son's 11 now, and I think he asked my wife probably about a month ago, or a little less than that. He was just like, "Does Daddy have a job?" and so because he sees that she leaves the house and she goes to where she's at, she comes back and it looks like she's been to work. I'm always with him.
Yeah.
So I'm picking him up for school, or I'm volunteering at his school. I'm here, I'm there, but I'm always available to him. So it doesn't look like that I'm at work. And yeah, I'm at work. That phone call you just heard, that was work. That email I just got that sending through, while you were waiting on me to take off in the car, that was work. All of these other things, this meeting I'm going to that you sit in the back of the room doing your homework at, that was work. So I'm working while I'm with you or while you're with me. And so he doesn't necessarily get that yet. He's getting it now though. Because every time I do something, I say, that's work.
Exactly. Nice.
But this is work here too, partner.
So do you get him involved at all in what you do?
No, yeah, if he with me, he's involved. But I'll allow that to work itself out. He's picking up on it. He understands it. He was talking about President Trump yesterday to some of his friends. He was talking about some stuff that I didn't even know.
Really?
Yeah, it checked out. It was true, So he's catching on to it. I mean, he doesn't have any choice, to be honest with you. Some legacy stuff over here, man.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so, and these young people are so on fire. I'm thinking back when I was like that age or in school, I was worried about the next pair of shoes I was gonna get.
Yeah, man. And I was too. And and that was a great part about being a kid. Yeah,
Exactly.
you didn't have to worry about it. But the thing is, I think that we all need to know it, not worry about it. Know
Right.
it, and where it fits in on your priority list.
So what should we be doing now, would you say, in the wake of George Floyd, in
Yeah.
the wake of Aubrey? What should we be doing right now, as far as like us personally, with our families, with our children? What should we be doing?
Discussing with them the dynamics, the racial dynamics, the breakdown, uh, uh, what we should and what should we should believe about what family is. I had a partner; he has a podcast that he does, and it's over the internet, and you know how that works out. And they were talking about the next steps and what people should be doing and why Black America is the way it is. And I just respectfully submitted, a couple of comments. Excuse me. The family is the most important thing and building block of any culture. If you don't have family and something to pull from to catapult you to help you reach to a higher level, not only yourself and whoever you're around is in trouble, but the community itself becomes fragmented as well. We can only produce greater outcomes for our culture and our community when we have strong families in play. Once we are family oriented and strong within our families, we have the ability to control our area. What goes in, what goes out, what happens, what shouldn't happen. So we have to start having a discussion about what it means to be unified in a family, environment. Now, people will say, well, the family has changed. It's no longer the nuclear family, what we were taught, the dad, the mom, the two kids, a girl and a boy. It's changed. It's not that anymore. I beg to differ. It hasn't changed. We've changed. We've accepted an idea that, this and this and this go together, and this is the family. Nah, that and this doesn't go together. It doesn't go together because you said what goes together.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm going to tell you what goes together, And so we have to get back to a point where we are having a valuable discussion with our kids about building family.
Yeah.
The moment we are able to pass that along and pass that down and they can receive it, we can talk about money. We can talk about the way money flows. We can talk about school, education, how it's going to impact your life. We can talk about politics.
Yeah.
We can talk about athletics. We can have that discussion. We can figure out how we are going to support each other through this so we get a greater harvest. You know what I mean?
Amen.
But the moment that we feel like that we're on this track by ourselves, we're fragmented, and we're on all this kamikaze stuff. It's the moment that we do not fulfill the assignment that we are here and we've been sent here to do.
Oh man, kamikaze stuff.
It is. I mean. So, like, did you watch the Bulls? That thing that they had with Jordan, the Last Dance.
Yeah, the documentary. Yeah.
But there were a lot of things to take away from that. And the maturation of the Bulls from the time that he got there to the time that he, started going crazy. He was always good. That wasn't a problem. It was winning, and how did that, how did that become a part of, his repertoire?
Yeah.
And so and I'm going to talk about the Black community really quick. We are really quick to tell our child to be the man on the basketball court, the football field, wherever, right? Be the loudest, be number one. We never expressed to them that you need a team.
Yeah.
You need support. You need help. You can't do this on your own. We never teach them how to build a network that's going to support them.
A community.
And then when they bring a friend home, we look at the friend's side eye trying to figure out who their people are to make sure that child ain't been taught good morals, so we got to kick them out. No. I need that child at my house a lot more. You know why? Because that child interfaces with my child every day. I don't want my child to be in some stuff that they shouldn't be in because that's their friend. So they're together. I'm
Right.
not with 24/7. So I have to like start, impressing upon that friend, investing in that friend, so that I know my child and that other child are not going to make some decisions that's going to cost them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Again, family, community, bridging
Mm-hmm.
these gaps,
Yeah.
and we have to be responsible for that. You can't, the people next door, you can't do that anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you can, but you see the results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that's some good stuff right there. That's some wisdom. Because I know for a while when my daughter started getting older, I'm like, okay, this person can't come over, that person can't come
Yeah,
over.
man.
Because
Yeah.
I,
Now,
I I had to flip my mindset just like you did. I'm like,
yeah,
she gonna
yeah,
hang out with him regardless.
yeah, yeah. You know which ones they gonna hang around with. You
Hmm.
you know that. It ain't everybody that they bring around you, but
Hmm.
but you know which ones is gonna happen, and you're gonna have to embrace that in a way that say, I'm gonna treat you like my child when
Hmm.
I get around you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna talk to you like my child. I have
Right.
to challenge you the way that I'm gonna challenge my child because I want the best out of you
Hmm.
because your best is going to impact my child.
Right. Exactly.
Ta-da!
Yep.
And
Exactly.
your worst is going to impact my child.
Hmm.
Ta-da!
Exactly. Exactly. So, how would you say, like we're both black fathers, and we're all witnessing, and we have to keep teaching our children. How would you say you teach your children to be aware of what's going on, but not to instill hatred or fear in them?
That's hard because they are children. They're very impressionable. My son, you know what? I haven't really figured that out. I don't know if there's even a boilerplate answer for that.
Hmm.
Uh, when the conversation comes up, I participate in it. When he asks questions, I answer to the best of my ability. But I think the easiest thing and the best thing to do is to walk with your child through it, whatever it is,
Hmm.
because your child's paying attention to how you react to it, which will
Hmm.
obviously give them an idea of how they should react to it. So I don't have a boilerplate answer for that. You just take it as it comes, and you do your best to adjust to the good, bad, and also to the ugly.
Yeah.
Uh, so no,
Man.
he's older now, getting older. He's 11. He'll be 12 in September. And so, now the teenage thing comes into play, and there's a lot more discussions about, other stuff. And so we have to be, as open as we can and be
Hmm.
very clear too.
Yeah.
I'm very clear, like, this is something that you can't do, or this is something that you are allowed to do, and
Hmm.
there are boundaries that have been set there. So when it relates to George Floyd or um, to anyone for that matter, it's like, that was wrong, right?
Hmm.
You know, there, we can play the color thing, and that's a different set of discussion points. But wrong is wrong, right is right. You
Hmm.
know, um, he stays in front of a faith leader daily.
Hmm.
He has a prayer life. You
Hmm.
know, so there are other things that are built into this discussion. That
Yeah.
helps support him in his growth spiritually, physically, and mentally. So those are things that I know to do because that's how I grew up.
Right.
And so I think it worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it worked for me. I'm still, I ain't, I'm not a perfect person, but I do have a foundation that I can
Hmm.
pull from, and I have some things there that I believe that are good,
Yeah.
and I can offer to the world. So, and that's what I'm giving to him.
Amen. And that's an interesting segue because I have a buddy who he is really big in the church. He is spirit filled, but he believes that he could never serve in a political function because of his faith.
That's
How are you?
nuts.
How are
That's
you able
nuts.
to bring them both together?
That's nuts.
Hmm.
I challenge people on that. And they go find some piece of verse in the Bible to like sustain or to. It says the government is on the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says in the book, right? It says the
Yeah.
government rests on his shoulders. He said that when he died on the cross, he gave you dominion of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put those two together, why am I going to sit in the earth realm and allow somebody that is devil filled tell me what to do?
Mm-hmm.
That don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. So I'm just going to pray this change through. It's not coming out the sky anymore. That's already been done. That's over with, right? So it's incumbent upon me as a Christian to get involved.
That's
so
good.
There's no other way.
Mm-hmm. And I think some people get confused. They're still waiting for the miracles out of the sky when God might be opening up. Yeah, he's opening up things for you here. He's opening up opportunities. Yeah.
It's already happened. It's been given to you. That's what the books say. Now, if you're reading something different, then we can't have this discussion. But
Right.
that books say these things are afforded to you. Mm-hmm. So, hey, check this out. Are they? That's what's up. Let's get that.
Yeah. Man, and that's always
that's what I believe.
Yeah. And it's always an interesting discussion when you start talking about religion and politics and bring them together into separation.
But the Bible is full of those discussions. Every story in there is based upon a political movement, a king, a pharaoh, those people. And then there was this there was the Pharisees, these Sadducees, those are the preachers, right? I don't talk about it.
Oh, shoot, break it down.
And then you have these God chosen figures. You have a David, you have a Moses. None of those God figures, those people, those leaders that helped to redefine the course of history where they were at, they weren't preachers. Mm-hmm. Many of them were not. They were civic leaders. Oh. No, seriously, they were. They were civic leaders. Now, they may have not been elected leaders, but they were civic leaders. They came out of Joshua, right? Mm-hmm. They were civic leaders. Mm-hmm. He didn't trust his word to be carried out from those who were preaching in these synagogues and these, temples.
Right.
He went in the temple and was turning over tables. Seriously.
Right. Yep.
It wasn't nothing nice about it. You guys are defaming my Father's name. Mm-hmm. This is not the order of the kingdom. Get out.
Yeah.
And so the church wasn't carried out in a building or a church, was it? It was carried out by Christ in his walk throughout the earth.
Yeah.
That's what the books say.
Right. True.
Teachings say. Now, Henry was born in 1979. So
a little bit after,
Yeah. I can't dispute. I have nothing to dispute. But historical text, based upon what we have, says this. Yeah. And so that's how it works out.
Yeah.
My fault for believing and reading, right?
Yeah. So where do you feel is the place of the church in all the protests and all the uproar?
The church needs to be the loudest thing out there. The church needs to be there defining the standard that we should be living and exist with. Mm-hmm. Should be front line. Should be front line. Should be front line.
Yeah.
There was a church here locally. I just read an article. It was earlier today, actually. They pay for their members' medical bills.
Oh, I think
like $1 million.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah,
there was $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's the church. Now somebody.
Oh, hang on. We lost your sound. Can you hear me?
See? Oh, there we go. We back.
All right, we back.
Yeah, but I've asked this question before of some ministers here locally, pastors and churches, said, "What's the storehouse?" And I mean, you're talking about an argument. Oh my God, dude! You talking about coming to fisticuffs? And the storehouse is of the kingdom. Of the kingdom, the people are able to feed off the storehouse. Look, it's in the book, man.
Yeah.
And so then, as the biblical text, it says that they brought wheat, barley, all those things, right? To the storehouse, because that was their tithe, that was their sacrifice. So people were able to feed from that which was bought into the storehouse. Well, times have changed, right? So now we're a little bit more money driven, right? Credit driven, but it makes no difference. It's the same type of sacrifice, the same type of offering, right? So when we get to talk about the storehouse, paying for people's medical bills, that's the storehouse, right? Taking care of people's mortgages, that's the storehouse. If I'm investing in something, there's supposed to be a return. That's the storehouse. And that's how the kingdom of God operates. It's not an and an or type thing. This is the storehouse. Oh, Henry, you trying to make sure some of these preachers don't even, a lot of them ain't got no jobs. This is their job. And so that's how we pay their salary. Great. They feed from the storehouse as well. I'm not saying that they're not supposed to get anything there, but your number one priority and goal as a servant here in this lane is to make sure your flock is taken care of. Awesome. Right? I think it's awesome. But I guess this is all an interpretation as well, too, right?
Truth, exactly.
And also culture,
Yeah. Awesome. Man, well, I just looked down and saw that we rolling up on time, but I just wanted to get one more thing up out of you before we wrap up. What would you say is something that would what is a forward step for us from this point here, where we are now with everything that's going on?
Man.
What would a forward step look like for us?
Oh man, check this out. You better ask for everything that you want right now, and you're supposed to demand everything that you need right now. And I'm talking to Black America. This is the time, right? There has never been in the history of Henry Davis Jr., 79, right? that we have ever had an opportunity to be as vocal and as bold as we can be to get exactly what we're looking for. Don't miss this opportunity. It's ripe for it. Man, we got people out there, man, white people, like, they setting up their own like human gates to protect other Black. Dude, what? This is your opportunity.
Let's make it happen.
People's ear are soft to you. They're hearing you. They can see you. I mean, you got some of those people out there that still think you're invisible. But right now, the world is watching what Black America wants and needs. Dude, you better get to ask for everything, and including the kitchen sink. Man, come on. Man, come on.
We're going for the whole remodel.
Man, why not? It's being remodeled.
Yep.
It's being remodeled. Why not? I'm asking for everything. So right now, I'm asking for a citizens review board now. We need different police disciplinary metrics, with the police department. We need more Black officers. I mean, I'm just talking about that right now. I can talk about other things as well. We need more investment in our communities. We got to get rid of these school deserts. You understand what I'm saying? Our school corporation. Look, man, come on. I'm asking for everything. Why wouldn't I?
Being bold.
Why? Dude, it's open for it. It's kind of like somebody tell you to go in Macy's and get what you want, and guess what you do? Just walk through, gingerly looking at the racks. Man, what?
I'm grabbing. I don't even know. I'm grabbing everything.
Everything that, look, it may not even be for me. My size.
I bet I know somebody that can use it, dog.
I know somebody else can use it, and the stuff that is not, I can't give away. That's going on eBay.
Right. Exactly. We gonna make something out of it,
Yeah, we're
dog
gonna
on
make
it.
something out of this, man. And that's what we've been allowed to see, and that's the type of environment we're living in right now. Yeah, it's rough, it's nasty, it's sickening, it's disgusting. You are absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I've been hunted down like that. No, there's nothing on my end that I can say that makes this sound good. The stuff that we're going through, but after winter comes spring, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So I mean, buckle down, man,
Mhm.
and put your head down if you have to, and keep walking. But never in the history of the modern era have we had an opportunity like this.
Mhm.
And this is not to exclude anyone. I'm just talking about one demographic within the United States of America. This is the time that you demand what you want.
Amen.
This is it. This is
Mhm.
it. There's no other reason why this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
It actually fell out the sky.
Yeah, man.
Think
It's
about
a
it.
new season.
Yeah. It actually fell out the sky. So look, I'm about to ask for everything.
That's what's up. That is what's up. Man, that's why I'm glad you were one of the first person I thought of that I need to reach out and talk to when everything started going down, because I know you would keep it real.
All right, man. We're gonna have fun, man. We're
Yes,
gonna have
sir.
fun.
Yes, sir. So for all of those locally here with us, how can they reach you if they have any questions?
Man, my email is councilmandavis@gmail.com. Councilmandavis@gmail.com. My office number is same area code 574-235-5983, 574-235-5983. Social media, I'm all over that. Facebook is Henry Davis Jr. I got a couple pages on there, so you can always inbox me. I have Twitter. I am Henry Davis Jr. I have Instagram as well. So I'm out there. Just
Mm.
I don't mean to be funny or anything, but if you Google my name or Google me, you'll be able to find some of those links to those different
Mhm.
things to get in contact with me. So I'm not hard to find. I'm usually around.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
Yeah,
And
man.
if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to them. You can reach out to me at james@jamesthespeaker.com. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at jamesthespeaker.com. Man, we just trying to make some moves and ask for whatever we want in this season. Doggone it.
Demand it. It's yours. And I also have a web page. It's henrydavisjr.com. www.henrydavisjr.com.
Cool.
So yeah,
You'll
I'm
be able to
available.
find. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said I'm
You'll
available.
Yes, sir. And you'll be able to find that link below in the description bar. Check out Henry Davis. Look and see what he's got going on in the community. Just follow him. He's real on fire. He keeps it real, and he is for the people. And I greatly appreciate you coming on today's episode of the podcast,
Man,
man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the opportunity, man. I really do. I value it. Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, everybody, again, I thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Proud Dads Presents podcast. You can check us out Spotify, Apple, Google Play, Podbean, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We're having meaningful conversation that is made to equip, uplift, and inspire. Everybody, y'all have a good evening. Enjoy your families, and we out.